family members, and welcome back to my channel.
Was that a cute intro? Let me know. By the way, welcome to Algorithm Alley. This is Sneha and welcome to the Python series. Well, by the subtitle and the thumbnail, you might have understood what we are going to study about. This session is mostly on data types. So we have seen about list prior to this, these videos. And in today's video, we're going to learn and understand about different data types in Python. That includes tuples, dictionaries, etc. With some use cases as well. And yeah, let's get into the video right away. Okay, so first up is tuples. So like in the last video we have seen about list, we have seen lot of functionalities in it, how a data type of a list can be manipulated. So similarly, I'm not going to dive into a lot of stuff over here, but I'm going to give you a hint of like what a data type looks like of every section, how they have written and how do you fetch things and a lot of stuff, right? So starting with a tuple, this is how it looks. We are going to have variable t. In the round brackets we are having the values. I've given some integers, strings and some mixed value, right? So if I wanted to access any value from a tuple, कैसे करेंगे? Now, first of all, like ये tuple होता क्या? Let's understand that, because we already have a list and we have seen that in list also we write things like that only. Then why do we need a tuple? So tuple is also similar to list. It's like an ordered sequence data type itself. It stores a lot of information in it. But the thing is that tuple is, first of all, like it's immutable, meaning that anything inside it cannot be changed, unlike your list, right? And secondly, that first of all, you can see the other thing, which is like the round bracket. So that is one of the other differences. I know it's not a lot, but yes. The very bigger difference is that it's immutable. Just remember that. So if I wanted to fetch any item from the tuple, all I have to say is just like go with print. I wanted to print a value. Say I wanted to like printing me program. It's right on the top. And let's go with the other stuff. So next up we are having about slicing. So how do I slice off the data? I wanted to like fetch from maybe from the entire thing. I want to like slice off only the first two things and fetch them here. So we go with like print, and we can give the slicing. So slicing is given with the help of index number. So I'll just say from 0 to 2. So because we know that we are having only 3 values, 0, 1 and 2, and I wanted to only fetch 0 and 1. That's why the end value is always like this. There's one mistake that I just did, is I forgot to enter the variable name. Don't do the same mistake. And I put the square brackets. Try running it, and right after the here it is. Right after the program, we can see that it is fetching me 5 and program, which is an direct output, right? It's like slicing of the entire data set. Negative slicing is also the same like we have learned in the list session. Alright. Finally, tuples are immutable. So if I'm trying to change any value in a tuple, for example, t square brackets 0, I wanted to change the first value. पहला value change करना है. I just wanted to be like 10 or something. Okay, I think I ran it before. Let's go ahead by printing it. So I print as t, and if I run it over, showing me an error because that's not possible. Tuples do not accept any changes whenever they are declared, after being declared, right? So that's one of the things. Let's then go with the next data type. So what happens with strings is nothing but just any sentence, numbers, whatever you put inside double quotes, that's a string. And abhi ke liye I've just stored it in a variable which is s, and I'm trying to print it up. Secondly, I wanted to access any letters like we did with tuple. So I wanted to access like a letter, maybe L. So you start with 0, 1, 2, 3. So in the third position we're having like L over there. So let's try running it up. Under string section, it has to print me L over here. So let's see. So first it has printed hello world, and then followed by L. Post which now we'll be starting with something that's called slicing. We have learned about slicing in tuples as well and in the list. So over here I wanted to only print a chunk of data out of it, right? So I'd go with like print, I'll put the variable's name square bracket and from where to where I want. So 3 colon, which is the starting value, towards like 7 maybe, right? So let's try running it up as well. And there it is, LOW, right? Count it up. So yeah, for this hello world. Alright, so yes, even strings are immutable, so keep in mind like it is similar to tuples only. You cannot change anything which is there inside a string, right? So if I wanted to access any specific index and then change it with some other letter, it's not possible. Strings are immutable. Okay, then so next up we have set. Now how are sets represented? They are given in curly brackets. And first of all, one thing to know about sets are that they are unordered elements. Anything that you give inside it will not be it's not sure that it will be printing as it is as the output. The value can just reorder itself, right? So that's not a very big deal. Secondly, sets are very strict when it comes to duplicate values. So they do not allow duplicates value whenever you try to run it up, right? So I'm having a set over here with certain numbers and I'm trying to print it up with its data type. So let me run it, and here we don't have any duplicate values, right? So it is like printing as it is. It tells me that it's the class is set. If I add one more number, let's say 1, because now it's duplicate. Let's see how it works. So I run it again, and there it is, and we can see that it is printing me 1 2 3 4 5, and it does not have 1 in it anymore, because that's what set is known for. It does not allow or print any kind of duplicate values, right? So very important part this one is. Now next up we have with us is dictionaries. Now about dictionaries here. So dictionaries are in the structure format. If you see, it is having the curly bracket similar to this set, right? If I'm creating a blank dictionary and I'm trying to run it, it will identify the data type as a set unless there is any value inside the dictionary, right? But why? If you see dictionary, it is in the form of key and a value pair. So the key is name in this case and the value is Neha. Now when we say about key and value, so key is not like a variable or something, because when we talk about variables we avoid giving double quotes around it, but over here it's very necessary, followed by the value that is defining the key, comma, and then you give some other values to the whole dictionary that you wanted to save, right? I call dictionary as partially mutable, because you cannot change the key, key what you're talking about, you cannot change that, but the value you can change it, because there can be Sneha, there can be some other person inside the class or something that you wanted to update the value with, right? So in this case I call it partially mutable. So we can change the values in our scenario. I try to print the data type here. If we run it up here, we can see that it's printing as dictionary. So the class is dictionary is identified, followed by I wanted to fetch the value Sneha and print it up. So I'm using key for our sake. Instead of using indexing, here you'll be depending on the dictionary. So we say D square brackets and then quotes and then name, and then it prints you Sneha, and it followed by it is talking about the other one, which is age. So we are using that as well. I don't know what just happened. So for age we are printing we are writing the key and it prints me 10, right? So that's about dictionary. So that's about all the data types that's available and necessary for going ahead. Now the final thing is about typecasting. We have seen that in our list session also, but just to give you a glimpse over here. So typecasting kya hota hai? When I want to convert one data type into another, that's typecasting, right? Over here we can see that I'm having an integer value and I want to convert it into the format of float. These all that you see in the list over here, these are my constructors we call them, right? And anything that you put inside it will be converted as an output over there, right? So I'm not printing them, I'm showing you the functions over here that you can print in the end to observe. So this is for float, integer. If you're giving, now if you see, this is 2.5 but in the form of string. Why? Because we're having them in quotes, right? And then we're converting into float format. 25 we want to convert into string, integer, right, from the string, and same ahead. There is a list and I want to convert it into set. So ऐसे काफ़ी सारे examples है, please explore on it, keep practicing with lot of other functions, try running it and see that what gives you error, what is like allowed, what's not allowed to do, and experiment across the thing. First main thing is to understand the concept over here, like we have understood about indexing and slicing. Going ahead in the next session will be understanding more with loops, conditions, and how we can like play around with these data types in them, right, which is very important for our data analysis.